you raise chickens or would someday like to, I'm going to show you how it is that you can reduce your inputs to the point where you'll be able to eat eggs for free. One of the biggest expenditures in any livestock operation are feed inputs, and that's the first place that I always look to try to find profitability. There's a few different things that we do to save on feed costs. We buy our feed for these chickens by the ton rather than going to the store and buying it by the sack. And so there's a tremendous amount of savings. When we do buy in bulk, we always try to find and see if there's deals in that as well. So it's almost like a double savings. I will put a link in the description if you're interested in seeing exactly how it is that we purchase our feed and how we store it in bulk. But that's a huge benefit and a huge cost savings. 60-gallon storage containers that used to be used for storing olives. And each one of these barrels will hold 400 pounds of feed. Keeps it isolated from the moisture, sunlight, and more importantly, rodents. Another thing that cuts down on the cost of feed is the chickens don't have access to that purchased food during the daylight hours. They're out foraging in the chicken yard, looking for things that are crawling around, insects or other invertebrates. We've also established relationships with local businesses to have access to their waste streams. We have a relationship with a food bank, a couple of supermarkets, a restaurant, and a delicatessen, where we can bring that material here, allow the chickens to have access to it and get the nutrition out of it that they would like, which helps to dramatically cut down on our food input costs.
You know, she loves bats. I gotta give her bats once, about every other day I gotta give her bats. I'm gonna take dark and cover bats.
Some of these plant-based pepperonis. Yeah, they ain't gonna mess with that. So here's a bunch of bread that we got today that the chickens like to have access to, and as you can see, there's a bit of mold on some of this. The chickens are smart enough to know what they don't like, and they'll work around that, and what they leave behind will wind up being composted in this ring. It's very interesting to me how much food is actually just discarded in this country every day. And that food could actually be used to be composted or used to feed livestock as we're doing here, or in some cases that food could be used to feed people. But it's really available for merely just asking the question. In many cases we've been able to establish those relationships where people have decided to say yes, and it's only helped us out in our pocketbook. It's helped us out in the amount of food value we can provide to our livestock, chickens or otherwise, and it's just a real benefit. Another thing that can help to reduce the cost of feed inputs is the use of household leftovers. These leftovers will get folded into the compost piles, and then the chickens will have the opportunity to work through them throughout the day. I have piles in here that are in different stages of development, and I'll fold the food scraps into the pile where I want them to concentrate their effort the most. Riding into town this morning with Rebecca to drop off some eggs. Egg sales is the single biggest contributing factor to us being able to eat eggs essentially for free. All of the things that we do to save money allows us to offer this business a higher quality egg for less than what they could pay for in the store. That we get to support local business, and it's very convenient for us because we can deliver the same number of eggs, which is 5 dozen every week, same time, same place, same price.
you. Starting to go on us. Alrighty. Thank you.
Another really nice benefit is that this delicatessen provides us their leftovers from the week in the form of bread and produce and any sandwich making stuff or any of the other food that they no longer can sell comes to us, and then in turn it goes right back to the chickens. The hens are still working down and finding things here late in the afternoon, and you can see what they've been able to do to this pile today. The way that we're able to keep our feed conversion ratio high is we're constantly assessing the performance of these chickens. And every year we rotate out the older, less productive hens in favor of bringing in a new flock of pullets. That's not always the most fun part of the job, but in order to run a farm that's running efficiently, it's a necessary part of the process. Using any or all of these management techniques can go a really long way in reducing your overall costs and turning your operation into one that's potentially profitable. If you're interested in learning more about our chickens and how they live, click on this video here. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.